It began like a whisper I didn't want to hear, a truth too bitter to face. Love, I once thought, was unshakable, something built on laughter, late-night talks, and the kind of trust you don't question. For a long time, that belief carried me, and it was with that certainty that I gave myself to her. She was everything I thought I wanted. Warm smiles that could disarm my worst days, promises whispered like vows, and a closeness I believed nothing could break. But I didn't know then that love, when tested by deceit, can shatter faster than glass dropped from trembling hands. At first, I noticed little things. A hesitation when I asked simple questions, a flicker of guilt she couldn't hide fast enough, late replies that carried the coldness of distraction. But love has a way of covering lies with hope, and I kept convincing myself it was nothing, that maybe she was tired, maybe distracted, maybe just caught up in the chaos of life. I told myself not to doubt her, not to let suspicion poison what we had. I was blind, or maybe I just wanted to be. The truth arrived not in a storm, but in silence, like a knife sliding quietly between ribs. I found out by accident, as so many betrayed hearts do. A message left open, words that weren't meant for my eyes, promises she had written before, but this time not to me. I stared at the screen, reading and rereading until the letters blurred. There it was, the confirmation of every gnawing instinct I had buried. She was with someone else. The woman who had sworn she loved me had been giving that love away to another, and I was left holding the ashes of what I thought was real. When I confronted her, she didn't even deny it. She shrugged, said it just happened, as though betrayal were an accident, a stumble, not a choice repeated over and over again. Her eyes carried no remorse, only annoyance at being caught. That was the moment I realized the depth of her deception, not just in her actions, but in how little she cared about destroying me. It wasn't just that she cheated, it was that she believed she could do it without consequence, that my love had made me too weak to fight back. For days, I lived in the wreckage. Sleepless nights, bitter mornings, and the constant replay of her words echoing in my head. She had cost me not just love, but belief in myself, belief in what we had. The humiliation of knowing others might have known before me, the shame of realizing I had been the fool, cut deeper than the betrayal itself. But pain has a way of transforming into something else, and slowly, anger began to take root where grief had once lived. Revenge was never part of my nature, but betrayal changes you. I decided if she wanted to play games, I would show her I was not the weak, blind man she thought she had fooled. I began quietly, with patience, crafting the plan in silence the way she had betrayed me in silence. I didn't confront her again, didn't beg or rage. Instead, I smiled, I played along, I let her believe she still held the upper hand. And all the while, I gathered the truth, every message, every photo, every detail that painted the full picture of her lies. The day came when I was ready. I exposed her, not with fury, but with precision. To her friends, to her family, to the very people she had boasted to about her perfect relationship. The mask she wore so carefully cracked in front of everyone, and the image she had built of herself collapsed. She tried to twist the story, to make me the villain, but the evidence I held was undeniable. One by one, the people who once believed her turned away, seeing her for what she truly was. But that wasn't the sweetest part. The sweetest part was that she lost more than me. She lost the other man too, who, when faced with the truth, wanted nothing to do with her. She was left alone, abandoned by the very lies she had chosen over love. And me? I walked away, not broken, but stronger, sharper, free from the chains of a love that had been poisoned from within. I did not find peace immediately, but there was a certain justice in watching her crumble under the weight of her own deceit. She had cost me my love, but in the end, she paid with everything she thought she could keep. And as I moved forward, I carried not the bitterness of betrayal, but the clarity of knowing I had survived it, outsmarted it, and turned her game against her. The classic cheat thought she had won, thought I would fade into the background of her new life. But in the end, she learned the hardest lesson: betrayal may wound deeply, but revenge cuts clean. And I left her not with anger, but with silence, the kind of silence that haunts louder than any words ever could. I remember the exact night I decided I wouldn't let her betrayal be the final chapter of my story. It was late, past midnight, the kind of hour when the world is too quiet and your thoughts become too loud. I sat there in the dark, replaying everything: her laughter, her promises, her lies. At first, the memories broke me. Then they hardened me. Something inside me shifted. She had taken my love, my trust, and nearly my sanity. But what she didn't know was that she had also awakened something she couldn't control, my will to make her pay. I studied her patterns, the way she lived, the people she surrounded herself with, and the image she clung to like a lifeline. She prided herself on appearances, always the perfect girlfriend, the loyal partner, the innocent angel. She had fooled everyone, not just me. But every liar has a weakness, and hers was her need for validation. She needed people to adore her, to believe she was flawless. So that's where I aimed my strike. I didn't rush. Revenge isn't about speed. It's about patience. While she flaunted her new romance in whispers and shadows, I built my arsenal quietly. Screenshots of messages, late-night call logs, photos she thought no one would ever see. Piece by piece, I stitched together the truth. And the truth, once revealed, is a weapon no lie can withstand. I remember the look on her face the day I let it all out. She was laughing with her friends when her phone lit up. One by one, the carefully guarded secrets I had gathered spilled into the open. Conversations, dates, even the cruel words she had spoken about the very people who thought they were closest to her. The room grew silent, and all eyes turned to her. Her smile froze, her voice caught in her throat. In that moment, the queen of her little kingdom was stripped of her crown. She tried to fight back, of course. Tried to cry, to plead, to twist the story in her favor. But lies crumble fast when the walls close in. The man she cheated with walked away, disgusted. Her friends turned their backs, their trust shattered. Even her own family, who once adored her, could no longer defend the person she had become. I didn't need to raise my voice or cause a scene. The truth was loud enough. And I walked away calmly, leaving her in the ruins she had built with her own hands. There was no need for screaming, no need for rage. Silence was my weapon now, and it spoke louder than vengeance ever could. But the story didn't end there. Time has a way of revealing more than we expect. Months later, I saw her again. Not in person, but through the whispers of others. She was alone, struggling, clinging to scraps of the life she had once controlled so effortlessly. Her reputation never recovered, her relationships fractured beyond repair. People saw her differently now. They saw her as I had come to see her, not the charming, irresistible woman she pretended to be, but a cheat, a liar, a fraud who lost everything because she couldn't value what was real. And me? I found freedom in the ashes she left behind. At first, it was just survival, breathing without her shadow haunting me. But eventually, it became more than that. I discovered myself again, the parts of me I had buried beneath her lies. I rebuilt, stronger than before, sharper, no longer naive. The pain became fuel, the betrayal became a lesson, and the revenge became my closure. She had cost me my love, but in losing her, I gained something greater. Clarity, strength, and the unshakable truth that no one, not even the classic cheat, could ever break me again. Because in the end, revenge wasn't about destroying her. It was about reclaiming myself. And that, more than anything, was the victory she never saw coming. You know what betrayal feels like? It doesn't arrive with thunder. It doesn't crash into your life like a storm. No, it creeps in. Quiet. Silent. A shadow that slips through the cracks while you're too busy believing in love to notice the darkness gathering around you. That's how it was with her. I didn't lose her in a single moment. I lost her slowly, bit by bit. Every time she smiled at me while thinking of someone else. Every time she kissed me but saved her secrets for another. And the cruelest part? She let me love her fully, knowing she had already given pieces of herself away. When I found the truth, It wasn't just heartbreak, it was humiliation. Every memory suddenly felt poisoned. Every "I love you" replayed in my head like a cruel joke. I had trusted her with everything, and she had turned that trust into a weapon. She thought I'd crumble. She thought I'd beg. She thought I'd walk away quietly, licking my wounds while she enjoyed the thrill of her new conquest. That was her mistake. She underestimated me. Because I didn't just suffer, I sharpened. I let the pain harden into resolve. I let every sleepless night become part of my plan. She thought she was clever, hiding her affair in the shadows, but I lived in those shadows longer than she realized. I watched, I learned, I collected every shard of truth she dropped carelessly along the way. And then, I waited. Patience is its own kind of revenge. She thought she had gotten away with it, thought I was too blind, too weak, too in love to ever fight back. But when the time was right, I showed her the cost of betrayal. It wasn't loud. It wasn't violent. It was surgical.
Clean. Precise.
I exposed her lies the same way she had exposed my heart. Quietly, but completely. To her friends, her family, even the man she betrayed me with. One by one, I stripped away the mask she had built, until all that was left was her naked truth, that she was a fraud, a liar, a cheat. I'll never forget the silence that followed. The way her friends avoided her eyes. The way her family's disappointment settled on her shoulders like chains. The way the other man, the one she thought she'd won, walked away without looking back. That was my justice. Watching her lose everything. But here's the thing. Revenge isn't just about what you do to them. It's about what you reclaim for yourself. At first, I thought destroying her was the victory. But the real victory was realizing I was free. Free from the lies, the manipulation, the illusion of love that had blinded me.
She lost me.
She lost everyone. And me? I found something far more valuable than her love. I found myself. So, yes, she was the classic cheat. She cost me my love. But in the end, she gave me something greater. She gave me strength. She gave me fire. She gave me the cold, sharp edge I carry now. And if I ever see her again, I won't need words. My silence will be enough. Because silence, after all, is the sound of victory. Betrayal doesn't kill you in one blow. It kills you slowly, in silence, in the spaces between words. At first, you don't even notice it. You laugh together, share secrets, hold each other close at night, and convince yourself that nothing could ever break what you've built. You're blind, but it's a blindness you welcome, because love makes liars of us all. That's how it was with her. I loved her the way you love once in a lifetime, completely, recklessly, without hesitation. She was my world, and I thought I was hers. But betrayal has a smell, a taste, a feeling that creeps under your skin. I ignored the little signs at first, the sudden excuses, the late replies, the way her phone seemed to cling to her hand like it was a lifeline she couldn't let me touch. She had mastered the art of distraction, but love, real love, makes you notice the tiniest cracks. And once I started noticing, I couldn't unsee them. The truth came to me like a knife in the dark. A message left open. Words she meant for someone else. The same words she once whispered to me, recycled and given away like they meant nothing. My heart stopped. My hands trembled. And in that moment, the world I thought I knew collapsed around me. I confronted her. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She didn't even look sorry. She looked annoyed. Like I had ruined her fun by catching her. And, do you know what she said? It just happened. It just happened. As if betrayal is an accident. As if every secret meeting, every lie, every stolen kiss wasn't a choice she made over and over again. That was the moment I realized what I was dealing with. She wasn't sorry. She wasn't ashamed. She thought she had won. For days, I drowned in humiliation. Nights blurred into mornings where sleep never came. Every word, every memory, every promise she broke played in my head until I thought I'd go insane. She had cost me my love. She had cost me my trust. She had cost me the person I thought I was. But then the pain began to change. Grief hardened into anger. Anger sharpened into resolve. And slowly, quietly, I decided, if she thought I would be her fool, she was about to learn the truth. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't chase. I watched. I waited. I collected. Every message. Every photo. Every lie she thought she buried deep enough to never see daylight again. I dug them up one by one. And when I was ready, I turned the silence she had used against me into my weapon. It wasn't revenge done in rage. Rage is sloppy. My revenge was patient, clean, precise. Surgical. The day came when her perfect little world cracked. I exposed her for exactly what she was. To her friends.
To her family.
To the man she cheated with. I didn't have to shout. I didn't have to exaggerate. I let the truth speak for itself. And the truth is the loudest voice of all. I saw it happen in real time. The way her mask shattered, the way her lies collapsed, the way everyone she thought she controlled began to turn away. The man she betrayed me for? He left her too, disgusted by the person she really was. Her friends stopped calling. Her family stopped defending her. She was alone, finally, painfully, completely alone. And I didn't need to stay and watch her suffer. I had already won. Because revenge isn't about destroying them, it's about reclaiming yourself. And in destroying her lies, I rebuilt my truth. I rose out of the ashes stronger, sharper, unbreakable. She thought she cost me my love. But in the end, she gave me something far greater. She gave me clarity. She gave me strength. She gave me fire. And now, when I think of her, I don't feel sorrow. I don't feel anger. I feel nothing. Nothing at all. Because the greatest revenge is silence. And silence is the sound of victory.